What's going on? How are you guys tonight? We are live on YouTube as well as Instagram. We're just going to do a general Q&A. I'm probably not going to talk about I probably could talk about it on this channel because I don't really care, but some of you know who've been following the main channel. We did a video on, Monday, talking about Assembly Bill A416 and Assembly Bill A11179. Which were the bills for, one was the mandatory vaccinations in New York, and one was the detainment camps in New York. Both were New York bills put into Congress. The mandatory vaccination bill was kind of short. The detainment camp bill was a little longer. The vaccination bill basically said once a health authority deems, or once the major health authorities deem that a vaccination is acceptable to the public, then they can make it mandated. And the detainment camps was that if a governor or any appointed body deems that a person is dangerous due to COVID, then you can put them in a camp, basically. And then they basically said the person could be detained against their own will. And that specifically doesn't mean that the person had to be sick. It means the person could have come into contact with someone. It means they could believe the person's a risk for carrying the disease. Basically, they're trying to give these governing bodies the authority to do whatever they want and lock whoever they want up. So I did the video on those two bills. All I basically did was I read the bills and I gave a little brief explanation, basically saying that that they're a bunch of nonsense. They're just trying to take more power and control. And I got a community guidelines warning for going against vaccination recommendations by the WHO. Saying that in the video, I loosely said that the governor wants you to hold you down and inject you with poison. I didn't necessarily I didn't say the word vaccine. I didn't, there was no instance of me directly saying that. They couldn't prove that, which to me was kind of weird. How can you say someone is going against vaccine guidelines for when they don't say the word vaccine? And how can you say I was going against the health guidelines when I didn't recommend or even bring up any of the recommendations? I hope everyone got their cans of pink salmon and coconut milk stacked up for the apocalypse. Yeah, I'd probably shoot myself if I had to eat that shit for more than a month. 13 more days until what? Yeah, until they make the second strain cause more nonsense. Oh wait, I thought the mask worked. I saw a picture, I think yesterday. It said, if the masks work, why do we have to stand 6 feet away? If we have to stand 6 feet away, why do we have to get vaccinated? If the vaccines work, why do the vaccine companies have no legal liability? Where's the moderator? I am the moderator, but not too many people are chatting tonight. I didn't schedule the live stream that, or I scheduled it like an hour ago, so I don't expect too many people to join it, especially considering that we didn't live stream on Tuesday. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. 2 weeks to keep moving the goalposts for 10 years? Yeah, I think I originally, that 18-month video I made back in March, predicting that it's going to be 18 months long. I think it's going to be even longer. There's war coming. Oh, what more Trump nonsense? More completely low IQ retards that believe any presidential candidate is there to help them. I'm seeing a lot of 33 numbers involving the Capitol. Yeah, it's basically a bunch of Freemason faggots gloating in everyone's face. The general public is so stupid they can't even recognize. It's so obvious. There's 33 degrees in Freemasonry. Freemasonry is a secret society. The largest one basically controls everything. Obviously, there's different rankings, and there's 33 rankings in Freemasonry. And if you just Google COVID 33, or I even notice it in general, 33 countries have new strain of coronavirus. There were 33 people that died today in Cal. It's all a bunch of Masonic numerology bullshit. They're basically pointing out that the Masons are behind this deception. And yeah, maybe someone should go to a Masonic lodge and watch those faggots fuck each other without masks on. Those Capitol riots were staged as fuck. Crisis actors. I sometimes I'll briefly explain this shit to my parents. I was like, okay, you really think all of those people gathered in DC when 99% of the population believes in the virus? Like, it's ridiculous. It's all staged bullshit. Same with the BLM protests. I filmed the BLM protests a few months ago, and all of those people were paid actors. And the main reason I'm confident that all of the BLM people were paid is because I walked around in that crowd and I asked if people wanted to hand out flyers in New York City for $30 an hour, and no one took me up on that fucking offer. Dude, if someone came up to me and said, "Hey, will you hand out flyers for $30 an hour?" I'd fucking do it for $30 an hour. And there must have been some clause that they had going over there and protesting that they weren't allowed to do something like that. 33 masks on your face to stop the spread. They rub our noses in the Masonic shit is bullshit. Well, it's like what I spoke about with the 7 natural laws. It's like you're being pit up against the grandmaster in chess and you don't even know how to play chess. How is Trump bad? All of the rulers and political leaders, a bunch of inverted gender freakazoids that are just reading a script. And the goal of the script is to just usher people into the new world order. Everything that comes out of their mouth has a purpose. They were getting paid like $3,500 monthly retainers. No, I mean, I don't think there's ever been a legitimate protest in the past year or so. No one cares enough. They're just sitting inside watching Netflix, waiting for the government to tell them it's okay to go outside again. That was so obviously staged. The government could have shot them with lasers from space the moment they stepped foot on the Capitol steps. They chose to let them in. I have no idea what happened, guys. I didn't watch that shit yesterday. I know something happened because I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't follow it because with YouTube taking down with YouTube giving me a fucking guideline strike for fucking bullshit, no reason. I'm not talking about politics. They'll take down my channel for a week for saying for telling me that the word fucking vacation sounds like vaccine or some shit. Like, I wasn't even gonna make that joke, you know. I wasn't going to even make that because they literally gave me a community guidelines warning for something that I didn't say the word of. They said, "Oh, you cannot go against World Health recommendation guidelines for vaccination." I was like, "Well, I didn't say the word vaccine in the fucking video," and then I appealed it, and they denied the appeal, which is ridiculous. But no, yeah. So I don't know what happened yesterday, but I don't know what happened yesterday, but. I do, yeah. I mean, they have electromagnetic weaponry. They have all directed energy weapons. They have all this stuff. They can just fry your fucking brain from space if they wanted to. Everything's staged. DC police escorted Antifa's bus into the Capitol. All planned and staged. Yeah, it's all planned and staged, but you're not going to convince the average person that everything is an act and a play to deceive you, because if people understood that, the hard decision to do is to, not listen to the government. It's as simple as not listening to the government and doing whatever the fuck you want. If everyone just stopped listening to the government and went outside and did what they want, the government couldn't do shit if everyone cooperated. But people are taking the side of the government. Is there anything we can do to get through all of this? Yeah, just do what I do. Just ignore these people and do your own fucking thing. Try to get some type of hobby or business or something to work on. We're the communist state of America. It's official. See you guys in the gulag. I was looking at comrade jokes the other day. See you at the gulag, comrade. I was also looking at Latvian potato jokes. Anyone have some good ones? I'm gonna start making. I'm gonna start calling my parents comrades. At this rate, the way they're acting with the government. Frank, why does everyone say eggs will give me high cholesterol and heart attack? I think we did a video maybe a year ago, on eggs and high cholesterol. Comrade. Yeah, I'm definitely going to call my parents comrades every time I see them watching the news now. I forgot to do that. That was the worst staged event I ever saw. The cameramen were already ready in the Congress building. Yeah, but they're just pandering to the low IQ masses that just take everything at face value without questioning anything. Patriots stormed the Capitol. They dumped tea in Pelosi's office. That's funny. Starving to death with Comrade Tefano in the detainment camp is my fantasy. Comrade. That's fucking... The comrade jokes are really funny. You can Google that. It's they're much more popular in Russia. They're popular European jokes. It's like a very famous joke. It's like Stalin jokes and stuff. I think what was this? Someone said there was like a... What was it like? Let me look it up. Caloric. It was like a caloric ration card. Caloric ration card. It was like, it's like an excuse to basically, like, just like they're locking you inside and making you wear a mask under the guise of your health. They're gonna restrict your calories. They're gonna starve you under the guise of your health too. Are you Russian? No. Is Mark Zuckerberg a robot? No, I think they're all a bunch of fucking inverted gender tranny actors, to be honest. I think most of them are actors. I don't think any of them are legitimate. Especially Elon Musk. Born a woman, deceiving people. At this point, I'm just happy if I know the person is a biological gender. It's like once you understand the skeletal difference between a man and a woman, it kind of ruins your life, because all you do is think about, like, you can't get past, like, if the person's like pretending to be a different gender, and you can't really listen to what they're saying. Pelosi a man, Bill Gates tranny. I mean, we've talked about this too much. I don't want to talk about. We'll wrap this live stream up if all we have to talk about is the tranny stuff. They're just a bunch of Masonic crisis actors. How do you know these people are well, males have different skeletons than females. The hands are different sizes. The digit ratios are different sizes. Their fingers are different lengths. Men have different finger lengths than women. Each of the individual digits are shaped differently. The size of the skull, the shoulder width. A big factor, if you can see, is if they're in a bikini, you can see the slope of their back and the hip insertions. It's very, very, very obvious. I'm getting mad as fuck at the fit girls. Oh no, that pisses me off the most. I was gonna make a video titled so you know how like women are afraid to get bulky or something? Like, will you get I was gonna make a video titled "Will you get bulky as a woman?" I've spoken about this before. But I wrote the video script and I was like, I can't do a video on this. Because all I explained in the video was, well, most female fitness influencers are actually men, so you're not going to get bulky. Like, don't worry about it. And you probably can't say that on YouTube. But no, that's why I feel like these Victoria's Secret models and all of these men dressed as girls are deceiving young women for unrealistic body images across the board. It's ridiculous. I'm trans and I agree with him. It's one thing if someone's gonna say something or give you advice, or portray an image, they kind of have to be open that they're trans. But The majority, when I talk about this, I'm not actually really talking about trans people, because the people I'm talking about, no one really knows their actual gender. Wait, Victoria's Secret models are men? Well, that's another whole different story. The point is, the trans people I'm talking about are, no one knows they're trans. No one would. Let me just summarize that with one sentence. The people that are trans are either very late in life they decided they wanted to be trans, or they weren't trans from birth. That's basically it. The only people that are identify as trans are the ones that were unable to do it from birth, because why do we have to always talk about this every fucking live stream? You should have made the video. I probably wouldn't have a YouTube channel right now if I made the video. But it is a very popular question. Like, when women, it's funny, but it's so shameful on them. No, it's like me. It's like me putting on a fucking. It's like me putting on a dress and short. Well, the boys probably want to see that. So, it's like me. It's like me dressing up. Well, I don't want to use that analogy because I'll just get made fun of. But imagine Ronnie Coleman, famous bodybuilder, or some bodybuilder guy puts on a bikini. Imagine. No, let's do this. So, Big Ramy won the Olympia a couple weeks ago. New Mr. Olympia. Imagine if Big Ramy just put on a bra and walked over to the females fitness division and said, and won. Like no, like that's what they're fucking doing. That's essentially what they're doing. They're transitioned before they develop secondary sexual characteristics. No, you can't change the skeletal structure. Are you going to get more bed canopies in again? I'm trying to get some, yeah. I mean, the discussion about being trans or not is, honestly, most people don't really care about what your gender is. They just want to do their own thing. The problem I have is specifically with the body image stuff. When a Victoria's Secret model that's a man, or when a fitness influencer that's a man dresses up as a woman and starts telling girls to eat like this and work out like this, that really irritates me, because you will never look like a man as a female. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The metabolism is different. The main difference is that is the biological, caloric, and nutritional need to raise a child. The biological females have a much higher need for nutrition, and their dietary, they're more prone to issues. So when a man follows a starvation diet, he doesn't suffer nearly as much as a woman. Man, we already ruined this live stream. Runway models are men? Yeah, that's an obvious one. No, point is, long story short, most of the female fitness influencers are actually men. And that's the reason they have abs. Dr. Berg and Grundy legit are big. They're mostly shills, but lesser of the evils. Definitely lesser of the evils. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to sell you products that don't work, but there's people doing worse stuff. I'm not that good at spotting the difference. They're really good at taking good pictures and using. They've been trying to pretend to be a woman their whole lives, so they're good at taking pictures with angles and hiding it and stuff. Did you see that chick squat with Eddie Hall? Oh no, but it's probably a man. I don't have to see that to know that. What happens if they make the vaccine mandatory everywhere? Oh, it's not going to happen. The vaccine's never going to be mandatory. Certain companies and certain bodies might require you to get injected or to work with them or something. But right now, a lot of people are opposing the vaccination, and I think in a week or two, that's going to be very, very clear. Most girls on the carnivore diet end up looking manly. I think the only girls that actually follow the carnivore diet were mostly biological males. You guys. All right. So this live stream has basically turned into a bunch of Masons fucking advertising other people's channels by asking me about them. So we're gonna wrap this up in a few minutes for many reasons. When will the elites let us return to normal? It's the same thing with the 9/11 stuff. I mean, I was driving in my car earlier and I forgot my cell phone. And I usually always like having my cell phone on me because I get lost. I can't remember directions to save my life. So I always use the GPS wherever I'm going. I mean, yeah, I can figure out where I go, but a lot of the time, like I drive to places that I've never been before to pick up stuff, or I go different ways every time because there's traffic. So I like having my phone on me to use GPS. And I forgot my phone in the car, and I was just thinking, man, I would have killed to live in the 70s and 80s when there was no cell phones, none of this bullshit to worry about. That would have been nice. That's all I was thinking about earlier. Why did I bring that up? I don't fucking remember. You have more subscribers than some of the. I have the most subscribers out of every carnivore, and I'm heavily. I mean, if YouTube was fair game, I'd have millions of subscribers by now, but it's not fair game. Do you have a cookie recipe on your channel? Yeah, I have two. I have one for vegan cookies. I have one for carnivore cookies. Hey, Frank, do you believe in a creator of flat Earth? I don't know why the flat Earth people don't talk about how I don't understand why people don't talk about how a compass is a magnet. A compass that points north is a magnet. It's very simple. Why don't people understand that there's some type of gigantic magnetic force at the North Pole? And then once you actually look into the North Pole, you realize that all of the accounts of North Pole exploration are fake. The idea that the North Pole is like a snow-covered, like nothing, like there's an idea that the North Pole is just nothing covered in snow. There's maps from several hundred years ago that show that the actual North Pole is some type of magnetic field that cannot be, like, you can't actually physically get to the North Pole because of the magnetic field, and it's surrounded by four islands that are like it's like there's two islands on each side, and there's the magnetic mountain in the middle, and there's rivers running in a plus sign to the mountain. That's what the maps look like. Actually, let me see if I can find a map. Let me see if I can find the map. Hold on. World map, magnetic map. I don't save this stuff because I don't really care, but this is, hold on, I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. The mysteries of the North Pole. I don't know if my my stream is set up properly. Let me see if this works. So this is the map. I don't remember when this was from, but this is what the map is actually. So there's Asia, there's California, United States, and this is the actual North Pole. So apparently there's four islands, and then there's there's like a magnetic mountain at the center. So this is what apparently there were some actual maps of what the world is supposed to be, but who knows? You know, there's no, we don't, we're basing our knowledge of the world based on what we're told. Oh, let's see. Turn your phone around. Oh, you guys on Instagram can't see it. All right, let me bring it up again. And I'll show you guys on Instagram. How do I do this? That's the this is the actual world map. It's like there's 4 islands and there's a magnetic pole at the top, at the middle. I was talking about 9/11. So just like they took away all the what I was actually trying to get at was just like, we used to not use phones 30, 40 years ago. Just like before, when there was 9/11, people used to not have to go through airport security. I think airport security, to my understanding, before 9/11 was, I mean, I wasn't really, I was young, so I don't know what was actually airports were like. But when 9/11 came around, they enacted the TSA airport security. You basically, traveling's a nightmare now, and they kept it like that. And we never took that back. So if people think that they're going to give us coronavirus back, no, you're going to have to take it back, and people aren't willing to take it back. I uploaded a video with the word retard in it in 2016, and I lost 5K subs, and my views instantly cut in half. It's kind of funny that the same people that are censoring the word retard in videos are the ones that are actually making people retarded through poisoning the food and water supply. A little bit ironic. Oh, you can't use a word, but we can make people mentally handicapped for the rest of their lives. Bunch of fucking degenerates, to be honest. Thoughts on gematria? Gematria is probably the best way to recognize. The gematria is the most obvious way to know to realize everything's fake and planned. To me, it's really simple. If you explain to someone there's 33 degrees in Freemasonry, Freemasonry is a secret society, look at all of these news articles, they put the word 33 in. If someone's response to that is, oh, it's just a coincidence, when you show them literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of articles with the number 33 in them, they're brainwashed beyond repair. Like, if you can't even recognize that, then I'm not talking to you. It's a waste of time. Okay, you don't want to listen to the truth. I wish I was alive before airport security. Did you watch Caesar's Messiah, the documentary on Christianity's origins in Rome? No, but I watched a presentation, and the guy made a really good point about Jesus. If the story of Jesus is true, when Jesus being killed by the Romans, he was killed by the government. So all of these Christians that are listening to the government are listening to the people that killed Jesus. He was killed by the Jews. Probably. Any ideas why eating grains would cause sweaty palms? Because when you eat something like a grain, a cooked food, a starch, it kind of feeds your gut bacteria, and it can help kind of warm you up a little bit. Did JFK warn us about secret societies? Yeah, there's a famous JFK quote. I can probably look it up. If you just Google JFK secret societies. Okay, this is it. It's there's a plot in this country to enslave every man, woman, and child Before I leave this high and noble office, I intend to expose this plot. President JFK 7 days before his assassination. Yeah, that was the JFK quote. You can't say mud floods without being called a conspiracy theorist. That's how you know they just censorship, because like they just censor stuff and make and label anything that's true as a conspiracy theory. Because when you say the word mud flood to me, like I've heard of mud floods before, I have no fucking clue what they are, and I don't give half of a shit. But if someone comes up to me and says the word, and just if someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, did you hear about mud floods? Yeah, those are fake. Those are conspiracy." The first thing I'm gonna fucking think is, okay, they're real, and there's probably something they don't want us to know about. So JFK wasn't a Mason. No, he probably was. It was just he was one of the Masons that were designated to kind of, through natural law, tell the public what was happening. So these people will, to some degree, expose their own intentionally on purpose, or go against their own agenda intentionally on purpose. But by no means are they all going to do it. Like, for example, David Icke, who's an obvious shill, he does talk about 5G and how it's dangerous, but then the other Masons can't talk about it because he's the one focusing on it. What JFK was doing then is what Trump is doing now. No. If anyone thinks that the political leaders in charge are ever going to benefit the public, they're delusional. Why do the majority of people have such low critical thinking skills? It's the poison diet, radiation, all that type of stuff. You can't think straight. Before I followed a high quality diet and removed the chemicals from my diet, before I went carnivore, I wasn't smart. I was poisoned like everyone else. Did you already mention Mr. Ratboy eating rice? No one cares about him. He's just a loser doctor. He's never going to amount to anything. All his viewership, the guy was put on fucking every podcast you would ever want to be on, and he still couldn't build up his own viewer base. He's still trying to grift off me. Guy's going to fade away, especially now that he's peddling the vaccine. I probably can't even point that out on my main channel. Are humic trace? I don't think the humic, fulvic acid, the trace metals, and that stuff are. I wouldn't try that stuff. There's no legitimate. I haven't seen any legitimate testing on the mineral profile. Do I need fructose to perform in the gym pre-workout? Usually caffeine is enough. Sometimes glucose can help. You don't really want fructose. I think they're going to kill a lot of people any day now, or some crazy war is going to break out with Russia and China. If you understand how natural law works, and then they can't actually do evil things without people consenting to the evil things being done to them, then you wouldn't give a shit. I laugh when people say they're going to mandate vaccinations, because the only way you're going to get vaccinated is if you go to a vaccine place and willingly agree to get injected. That's the only way it's ever going to happen. Because through natural law, through how the world works, in order for them to get what they want, they have to deceive you. Of course, they've bent the rules quite a bit, but the way natural law works is kind of stupid, because according to them, if they just put the word fluoride on the toothpaste, to them that's enough to that they can poison you. When in reality, the truth would be, well, fluoride damages various glands in your body, and you should not, under no circumstance, consume it. It's a lie, and they're even saying the opposite. They're saying fluoride's good for your teeth. I was heavily poisoned as a baby. I had bright orange rings around my pupil from lead and other heavy metals from water. I hope you're right about natural law, comrade. Comrade. Better learn how to grow some food. They'll tell you can't shop there without papers like the mask. America turned into a corporation a while ago. Fluoride is so small and is too so small. I mean, that's not going to happen for a while, if anything. If they're going to say, oh, you need to get papers or vaccinated to shop for food, if that is going to happen, it's years and years and years away. What if they say get vaccinated or you can't travel abroad? I don't think that's going to happen either. I think there's going to be ways around it. Do you think airlines can force people to get vaccinated if they want to get on a plane? They couldn't do it because they'd go out of business. Right now, most people aren't getting vaccinated. That's the truth. The majority of people are acting like I think the majority of people aren't and don't want to get vaccinated. I would literally drive my car into a grocery store if that happened. No, I mean, they can't do it. That's never going to happen. The international travel thing would be easier to do. It would be easier to do because it's a smaller scale, so to speak. But guys, we'll wrap this up now. The chat's a little slow tonight. I'll try to mention it in the videos I do on the live stream days if I'm going to do a live stream, and maybe I'll try to announce it earlier on a couple different social media platforms. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. We'll see if we do a live stream on Saturday. Probably just the same thing, and hopefully we have a little more to talk about. You see Cuomo yelling at everyone in New York about fines if they don't get the thing. I mean, I think I don't. We can talk about that next time, but I think that was talking about fining the hospitals for not distributing the vaccines. But thanks again, guys, and maybe I'll see you Saturday.